The student that I will be observing for my field work is a student who has a tendency to be out of their seat frequently. So I'm going to be addressing an academic area of intervention for him. The observations that I have conducted, this student is out of their seat an average of 7 times within a 50-minute classroom time period. And my instructional aide has also collected some data, and she said that for her observations on one occasion, there was 5 instances of this student being out of his seat, and on a second occasion, there were 10 instances of him being out of his seat. So we really want to make sure that he can stay in his seat so that he doesn't disrupt others and that he is not distracting himself from learning as well. So, the evidence based practice that I have decided to implement with this student is self management. And what I plan to do with this student is actually have him record the number of times that he's out of his seat in a class period. And that is going to be his own baseline. And I will pull him aside and talk about appropriate behaviors versus inappropriate behaviors in a classroom setting, and then talk about what he thinks is a realistic number for him to achieve, and also ask him what he thinks would be a good reinforcer. So for him, it may be difficult to find an appropriate reinforcer for the school campus because he does tend to like video games. And this is a middle school setting, so there's not as many opportunities to just drop what we're doing and have him go to a safe space to be on an iPad or play Google games or anything like that. So I'm going to talk to him about those types of options that he would have. So we'll see about that. Um, the way that I'm going to ensure fidelity in my field work is by being true to the data and not skewing the data. Um, my instructional aide said that he got up out of his seat to sharpen his pencil, and I asked her if that was an appropriate response to the task, and she said it was. I'm like, then we're not going to count that. So I want to make sure that we're keeping the data. I'm also going to be true by teaching him how to monitor his own behaviors. We're going to use a card system, and every time that he gets out of his seat, he'll turn a card. So we'll teach him how to do that, and I'll teach my instructional aide how to help him monitor that as well. But ultimately, by the end of the fieldwork period, I really want him to be able to monitor himself on that.